Alright. Hope for the best. You never know for sure when you put that last coat on if it's really the last coat, because if it doesn't turn out perfect, you gotta scuff it down with 600 and do it again. But after a while you kind of get a feel for it and you kind of know when it's going to be okay. I hope this is going to be alright. The man is coming to pick it up here in just a little bit. So I've got to take this down to my house and put it in front of my, or over the top of my fireplace, my wood heater in my house, and it'll dry it. It'll quick dry it. This was just like a hairspray coat. I mean, it was very, very, very light. And that's the intention. Put a couple of light coats on the very end. I put it all on with my hands until I get down to the last coat or two, and then I'll put that on with a spray gun. So we'll know more in a couple hours. Well, I just sprayed it a little bit ago, but the man is here to pick it up, and since he's on his way to Kansas, I've got to put this thing back together with it a little less than dry. But this is the fix. It's pretty obscure. If you know where it's broken, you can see it, you can tell it. But if you don't, it's probably as good as I could have hoped for. This thing, this is an A model Fox, and it is an absolute beast to put together. I'm going to try to do this and get it on film just in case somebody ever has to take one of these things apart. Now, gunsmiths, they know all this stuff already. So you got to tilt this thing to get these little springs in first. You got to tilt it and rotate it in place. Once you do that, the hard part of that is over. It can't fall out this way because it's being held by those little springs. There's a little bitty spring. It's smaller than an ink pen spring, and it goes in this hole right there, and it's what provides the click stop for this lever. When you pull that lever over and it clicks, this spring puts pressure on the detent that goes, it's up in the bottom of that hole. If you lose that spring, heaven help you, because that's the only way you're ever going to find it again. And it goes inside that hole. And don't turn it over or it'll fall out and you'll never ever see it again. One other thing that I forgot to tell you is the safety push rod goes into a hole that's on the very front of this thing. There's a little hole, and that safety push rod goes into that hole. Trying to do this and not touch this stock is crazy. Push it in there and just leave it. It can't come out, it can't go any further back, but you have to just leave it in there while you put the front of this receiver on. Did I mention a little bitty spring in there? I did. Okay, the safety push rod is up inside, and you can see it. The detent spring is in that little hole, and you can see it. Now the top of the receiver is in place. Now, this thing has detachable sears, and these sears have to go in at this point. And what I'm going to do is clamp this receiver into a wood jawed vise so I can handle this thing and put pressure on it, because there's a pin right there that goes in that hole and holds these sears on. Everything else can be done from this position except a couple of screws that need to be put in place. But most of it can be done from this position with that vise holding it all in place. That nail having a tapered front like that helps me to line that hole up. Now I've got a red mark here and a red mark in the receiver and a red mark on this rod, which the red always is the right side. When I mark something, red is always right. Those marks are on there from 9 years ago. Okay, sears are in, spring is in. Now, this little pin that I just drove in, there's a set screw on the bottom of it. And that set screw has got to be torqued down to keep that pin. It's a retainer when that pin went in there. Okay, this still doesn't have any fasteners on it. It's just sitting here. But the receiver is all assembled. Now the trigger goes in, and the safety has to be forward to get these to clear. Now this screw is what keeps that little bitty spring in place. So if you're ever taking one of these things apart, you take that screw out, be sure you keep up with that spring before it gets away from you. And when I've got a piece that's got multiple screws holding it together, I don't torque any of them to start with. I assemble, and then I'll come back and torque everything all at the same time. Now this screw goes in the top underneath the release lever, and I'm going to go ahead and tighten both of these and put the trigger rod on before I try to flip it over. Okay, that's how you assemble a stock to the receiver without ever touching the wood. The safety is off. Triggers can be depressed. Lever over, safety back, lever stays. Ready to use. What do you think? Not too often do I get to revisit a gun I made 8 or 9 years ago, but it's kind of fun. Main thing is I can help someone out that thought their gun was destroyed, and it's not. Well, thanks for choosing to spend your time here with me today. I hope you've enjoyed this program. I'll try to post a new segment each weekend. In addition, if you'd like to read about a stock that I made and then it took a 20-foot free fall, click on the link at the bottom of this page. It's called The Broken Gun. It's a story I wrote a few years ago about my 2 boys. Sometimes life's hard and things get broken. Now and then we get a chance to fix them. I'm so grateful for the opportunity I had to repair this broken stock. It led to a restoration that I never could have imagined. As always, if you like this video, please click the like button and share this with your friends. Have a great day.